Hello, guys. Good morning. After having
Hello.
my energy's on skis, man. And everybody's wondering why do we have so many people on the screen today? Become our label. That is my ID name, and people think I'm funny because of that name, but I'm not. Kisilebo Molefe. I'm Sotho, but originated from Swaziland. Interesting story, right? I'd like to introduce my guests today, and then I will tell you guys how everybody will jump on and off. So not everybody's going to be on the screen at the same time. I just wanted for people to initially see the people that we're going to have on. So we've got Robert. Robert is my guest. I called him about 10 minutes ago to jump on here. That's how we flow in the world of entrepreneurship, guys. Robert has raised about 7 million for his startup. And because he's got a bit of an understanding around pitching and stuff, I've said, look, jump into this thing, see what's happening, and see how you can advise the guys as they do their pitches. And what are we trying to do today? We're trying to get to a level where with our pitching, as everybody knows, that is famous for. Martin, I'm gonna mute your mic, ne? Because your brother won't shut up there. Yeah, Martin's mic is off now, guys. We're all working from home, so I get it. It works out better when we kind of control these things. Anyway, what we're gonna achieve is get people who've been pitching at that and those who haven't pitched to have an opportunity to pitch their ideas to the world and their businesses. And as we know, pitching is a hard sell. It's quite a hard thing, and mostly because we just struggle with communication as human beings. There's very few people who master it. As a matter of fact, it's often been said that people fear public speaking more than they fear itself. How crazy is that? Yeah, we're getting feedback from this. There you go, sorted. Okay, now to jump straight into it, I've got another guest who's sitting on the sidelines. Her name is Bathabile. She's our main guest for today, and the conversation we're trying to have today is around the township businesses, what's happening there. We know that it's a bloodbath out there, not just in townships, but across the country. I mean, COVID-19 has us. COVID-19 has us by the balls, you know, and we're struggling. We're struggling with business, and those that are killing it are people that are making masks. I've got mine here. It was made by Ripid Saw. In fact, I should wear it. I'll do this like our president. Yeah. This mask made by Ripid Saw. There you go. But Tabile is trying to call me. Just give me a moment. But Tabile, are you able to jump on now? Sorry, guys, I couldn't let you. Anyway, I'm gonna ask Robert to jump off now. Robert, I'm gonna have you back on at 11:20. Is that cool?
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna WhatsApp you, né? Same with you, Martin. So
Yeah.
I'm introducing you to people that you are pitching. The business that you are entering, Martin, is the one that Robert is doing, and he's mastered the game. So there's a lot to learn. By the way, Robert, Martin is 20, so there's a lot to learn. And then Musedi offers a private tutoring in his business, and I'm looking forward to his pitch. I mean, he approached us last week, and we had not yet figured out how we're going to do this pitching thing. So that's the reason why we decided, look, instead of waiting and perfecting this thing, let's just jump on and see how things go. I mean, I think that's how entrepreneurs usually do stuff, you know. So guys, I'm going to ask all of you to jump off the screen so that I can make space for Bathabile. There's something challenging with her, with connecting on her side. So I'm trying to make sure that she's sorted. Otherwise, the conversation becomes weak if we don't have our main guest. Thanks, guys. Jump off. You can all jump back on it at 11:20. Eh? Thank you. All right, guys. Now we are waiting for my colleague in the industry, Bathabile. I'm just going to share the link with her again because I'm not quite sure why she's not able to jump on. And I would like for today's session to be quite engaging. So if you have questions, if you have feedback, please shoot. It's important that our contributions to the entire ecosystem are felt and heard. And then there's another guest that I'm going to have on, our MD, Yasmin Kazadi. Yaz will jump on to talk to us about a campaign that we are launching. It's called That Cares. So let me just kind of bring it back together. Let me wrap it up quite nicely, just so that we're on the same page around the purpose of this platform. What we're really trying to achieve with these conversations that we keep having is to make sure that entrepreneurs don't feel like they're alone. Innovators can share some of the insights in terms of what they're doing in their spaces, and there's a big challenge around people knowing what works and what's not working. So I'm trying to get us to a place where it's not a hard sell for you to talk about both your struggles, but more importantly, your opportunities. There's a lot of people who are facing some challenges when it comes to running their businesses in this time, which is called coronavirus. You know, it's sad in many ways because our lives have been disrupted, and they've been disrupted in a way that we cannot imagine. But in all of chaos, for those of you who remember when I was on CNN with my business partner Pakiso about 6 or 7 years ago, the one thing that I constantly mentioned was that in the chaos, in the chaotic period that we are in, whenever there's chaos, there's opportunity. So I feel like there's massive opportunity. I mean, a lot of companies are being sold for next to nothing. A lot of companies are forced to collaborate and partner with others. All of that presents opportunity for me, and I feel like all of chaos. There's so much that we can do together if we're not fearful. So may I request that for those that see the opportunities, can they share them with others? We don't share enough. We don't try and impact each other in a positive way a lot because we are all focusing and staying in our lane, which is great. But you must always remember that we don't have the same strengths. And I think there's opportunity across the board for increasing the pie. It will always be challenging if we keep the pie to ourselves and we think that as long as I eat, but that's not how South Africa operates. And that's not how the world works in general. If you don't share, and when the poor have nothing to eat, the next thing to eat is the rich. You know, so don't get rich alone. It's not the way to go. I would rather recommend that you find yourself in a position where you can contribute. You can contribute to the greater collective, and in contributing to the greater collective, you will always benefit more. Those that give never lack, you know, but don't give from a place of desperation, from a place of poverty. Give because in your heart you really want to give and contribute to the success of other individuals in your network. I think we win better when we all rise as a collective, as opposed to one person shining. And I always make the example that if Uplomena Machikasi and you get together regularly, and what often happens is that you are the one who's bringing the bottle, but nobody else can contribute to this, and they will call you ingam, like my lips are ingam. That's not success. That's not how you should be doing things. The main thing that you should always be focusing on is making sure that you show the others how to fish. Teach them how to fish so that everybody can buy a bottle. Imagine instead of having one bottle and others, if there's four of you, there's four bottles on the table and you're contributing equally to the pie. That is the ethos of what we believe, is that we always say we connect, engage, and contribute to each other's success. So I'm trying to carry on with that legacy, and I'm trying to make sure that we are of the same spirit in building each other up. The core focus for that is in 3 segments. We focus on education, so we've got what you call that academy. It's an e-learning platform we're about to launch very soon. It's accredited content, services CETA accredited, SAQA accredited, that focuses on new venture creation. We've got level 2 as well as level 4. And what we're trying to do with it is make these lessons practical. So we run a lot of boot camps, we run programs in the enterprise and supply development space. But our obsession has always been around making sure that whatever that people consume from us, it is practical, it is real. It's not just pie in the sky idea. And then this is not America, this is Africa. So if these lessons do not translate to something meaningful, then we're in trouble. So I'm just trying to make sure that we are working with practical solutions on our table. So we've got a team that works for that academy that is making sure that this beautiful thing that we are building and co-creating comes to life, and it comes to life in a beautiful way, in a way that works, and we rely on feedback from entrepreneurs because we're not building the solutions for ourselves, we're building them for each other. So that is on the education front. And then on the trade side, we've got a couple of collaborators, but in the way that we try and achieve this is that we're trying to be the plug. We would like to see ourselves as an entity that enables others to thrive. And to thrive, you need business. So to get business, you need to be compliant. There's a whole lot of things that need to be taken care of. And that's really what we are trying to achieve on our side by helping other entrepreneurs to jump on. And then the last one is around investments. And one of our proud investments right now is an entity called the People's Fund. We co-founded it with other collaborators in the ecosystem, and it funds purchase orders. So if you're looking for purchase order funding, we're the go-to platform, and you just need to go to thepeople.co.za if you're looking for a purchase order, or look at the number at the bottom there. That's my WhatsApp number. Drop me a WhatsApp, and I'll be more than happy to share insights and to share feedback with you and to guide you in the right direction in terms of whatever that you need to do. Bathabile is really having a struggle connecting. I can see her on the bottom here, but her devices are not connected, which I'm not quite sure what that means. So that's the reason she's not on as yet, and I'm just trying to understand on her side as to what's going on. Give me a moment. I'm going to send her a voice note. But Tabitha, I can see your name on the bottom, so it means you in studio, but it says your devices are not connected. So try and connect, and then I will put you up on the screen and introduce you. All right, guys. Another thing that I want to touch on, we often speak about pitching, right? That's what FAD, the platform, is known for a lot. It's predominantly a pitching platform, and those that Tabile.
Hi guys, sorry I'm so late. I know my laptop has issues; it doesn't want to connect.
Don't worry, turn the camera around. It's facing
like this.
Yeah, but we're looking at your TV right now.
Okay, I'm looking. I have to. You have to look it this way because my screen, my front camera is broken.
Oh, okay. No worries.
That's why I wanted to connect with the phone. I mean, with the laptop. But can you see the face there?
No, we can't see your face. Let me send you a screenshot so you can see what we see on our side.
Are you seeing the TV?
Yes.
Okay. We are learning here.
Yeah, we all
now learning. You can see me, but you see it's blurry.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
I think more than anything, it really is
voice.
About the voice and the value more than your face.
Okay,
I was just telling the guys, I was just telling them that at THAD we've got 5 rules of pitching. We're going to have 2 entrepreneurs pitch today on the platform here, and myself, you, as well as another guest, Robert, who's raised 7 million rand for his startup. We'll be giving them some feedback around their pitches. So what I want to give people as insights is that we've got 5 clearly defined rules for pitching, and for us at that, what we focus on is number 1, have a clearly defined problem statement. So if you can't define what the problem is for whatever that your business exists for, then it becomes a challenge for anybody to understand what problem you're solving. So have a clearly defined problem statement. And if we were to ask you back as judges or as people that you are pitching to, we'll always ask you, what problem are you solving? You might have heard this many times. You might have heard it from Shark Tank, from Dragon's Den, from the many startup pitch competitions that you would have gone out there. And it's what we teach us that with our multiple pitching sessions. Then number 2, now that you've defined your problem statement, what is your proposed solution? We want to understand that you have a very clear understanding of what the solution is, and that incorporates the size of the market, where the problem exists, and you've got a really niche focus in terms of what you're solving for. And then number 3, how are you making money? How we ask it in this speak, we say, what is the business model? We just want to know, how are you going to make money? It must make sense, and it must have at least 3 income streams, and that way we know that you are protected. One doesn't work, the other works, but with the same product proposition. And then number 4, what is your competitive advantage? Very, very important. If you don't understand what makes you unique in the marketplace and what makes you competitive, your competitors will eat you alive and you will be out of business in no time. And your competition is not always the direct competition. Some competition is indirect, So think about that too. And then number 5, the last one is, you are here pitching. Why are you pitching? That's what we have to understand. Most times people pitch, but they don't have clarity for themselves as to the main reason why they're even pitching or standing on a platform to pitch to people. So I wanted to share that with you, so that even if you want to pitch and you want to share this pitch with other people, you must always have clarity for yourself as to why are you doing it? Are you asking for investment, or are you asking for business? And is it clearly defined, and what is the return on investment for the person putting in money? And if it's a customer, why is the customer putting in money into this thing? So always have clarity around such things, guys. It's one of those critical things. Now my guest is off again. Shame, man. Technology is messing with her. Okay. Mfundo, please get our guests back on, our pitching guests. So have Musaidi as well as Martin to jump on the stream again. We'll jump on with that whilst we wait for Bathabile to sort her stuff out. So I'm going to have Martin and Mfundo. Please have Martin and Musaidi to jump on whilst we wait for Bathabile to for her technology to sort itself out on the other side. Ne? That's Bathabile. You're back, my friend.
I'm finding a better angle here.
Yeah. Okay. Let me introduce you, and then I will let you do the honors part. Ne? So how we structured our topic for today, we've said in the upcoming stream, we speak to Bathabile Moreki. Your surname, my friend. It's the one. Bathabile is the founder of Township Economic Transformation in franchise ecosystem. She's a multiple franchisee. That means she owns multiple franchises, and she's raised money. From the last that I read online, I think you've made up to about 21 million rand from the multiple businesses that, and you're a serial networker, and it's been such an amazing pleasure to engage with you from time to time because of the energy that you bring to anything that you do. I would like you to give our viewers just a bit of insight as to who you are and what you stand for.
Okay. Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm really honored to be here. Okay, so with my journey, I was also employed at some time. I worked for government and private sector, but I always had the passion to be an entrepreneur. So I took a faith of leap at around 2012, where I said, now I want to focus fully to start a business, but I was still scared. Hence, I chose the franchise model. So my first business, I'm not promoting any brand. It was Dibones Pizza. So for me, I felt that there is a mentorship while I'm still earning an income, but I can still be mentored into running a formal business, because all my life I've just been doing side hustles, but I needed a real business. So I thought, okay, franchises, they do offer you that safe net while you can still learn, and maybe eventually I'll find my feet, which I did. Hence, I launched the Township Economy Transformation. So the whole mentorship, I'm just trying to plug in the franchise model into the small businesses. Franchise model is not only owned by big retails. Even your small business, you can still use a franchise model. It's like a stokvel, if I can just put it in a nutshell. A group of entrepreneurs came together. You contribute towards marketing, you contribute towards bulk purchase of stock, etc., etc. So for me, it was one of those businesses that I thought, let me just also go back to the small businesses, especially in the township, so that we can help them to grow. We see a lot of startups starting up almost every year, but 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line, you can't trace the same businesses that started, with potentials.
There's always this fight with people, and especially with us as Black people. Whenever we see franchises, we're saying they're coming to take away our bread, in the townships. And what we don't realize is that what we're buying into is systems. If a system works, you can perfect it or you can improve upon it. And I think you've gone that route. You've proven that there can be success in this space, and you are trying to teach those lessons or impart those lessons to the next generation of entrepreneurs and profits in the process. Do you think franchises are there to compete with predominantly township businesses, or township businesses can learn a lot from the franchise system so that they can increase their own businesses?
For me, I will say any business, it's a competition to any other business, so we cannot take away to say, yes, if a Debona's Pizza comes there with a container, definitely it will compete with other small businesses in the township. But it's not only about competition, because a lot of, for example, the franchises, they are open to be owned by the communities in those areas. So I think a lot of Black entrepreneurs, we've been turned off by the franchise model for whatever reason, that we don't even want to be like one of the franchisees. I will just share, for example, there's a myth that says if you are paying royalty fees, you are working for somebody. And the royalty fees, let's say it's about 7% for marketing of your turnover. So let's say a turnover of 100,000, ne? So 7% of 100,000, that would be 7,000, right? So if you are even owning your own standalone business, every month, if you are making a turnover of 100,000 every month, which means somehow you need to be spending on marketing. So it's not really about working for somebody, but you are contributing to a certain service, because you see on TV, we've got national TV ads. A TV ad is very expensive. If you are a standalone business, it's likely that you can afford one on your own. But if you're a group of 10 people contributing, you can afford. So such myths have just put off a lot of Black entrepreneurs to look in the franchise model. That's why now we will feel that if they come to the township, it's It's a competition. It's not really a competition if only Black entrepreneurs can also take advantage and apply to be one of the franchise owners. And it's not only about the food industry. We've got a whole lot of franchises. Your spares. We've got spares, which are franchises. We've got dry clean laundries, which are franchise businesses, which are still suitable for the township market. And remember, when you open one in the township, you're creating jobs. When I opened my first business, it was in Olivenhout-Bosch. I employed 18 of the communities, which they were even saving on transport because they could walk to work. So the 700 or 1,000 rand, which could have been transport fare if they were working in Sandton, it was now channeled to their household expenses. So there's a whole lot of benefits if Black entrepreneurs could also plug in such. Not that everybody will want to run a franchise, but there are a couple of entrepreneurs who could be suitable to run a franchise, depending on their interest, to plug in such a model. Because to be honest, if we look into the successful rate, which made me interested, franchises have about 95% success rate. They are most fundable. So the list that all entrepreneurs we complain about, or we find challenges of lack of access to funding, lack of success, lack of this, with a franchise, you get that.
You're touching. I'm gonna have you back on Bathabile next week, and I'm gonna tell you why. Next week we're touching on stock files. So I've got the founder of Stockfella, Tsepo. Stockfella is a digital platform that helps stock files manage their money in a transparent way, in an environment that is very clear. And I think it's just one of those brilliant things that are so important to be looking at. How can Stokvels participate in the mainstream economy? I mean, if as a Stokvel you can actually buy into a business, that's economic freedom right there. And I don't think we see that. The only thing we see when people get into townships, they sell us funeral plans. We all take our money. They take that funeral plan money, they go and buy into other investments, offshore and whatever else, and into big companies. And we stay poor because we don't understand that this is a game and how the game of money works. You know, it's such a critical thing. Yasmin here is asking, how do we have a franchise model that incorporates the digital aspect?
With the franchise model, I'm happy that even now with the COVID-19, a lot of other small businesses will also have to adapt. So with the franchise models, if you could see, a lot of them are like visible online. You can order food online. You can order through Take a Lot, for example, other aspects online. So they use a whole lot of online systems because even just for payment, you can also pay online. So the franchise model really up their game when it comes to innovation. Whether it's food or fuel, but if you go to Engine Garage, you will pay with a speed point. You've got a choice. So they don't only use cash. So I feel that with that, hence they could survive because they always look into what's happening in the industry and they always revolve their business. They don't just stay in that traditional trading as much as a lot of like our traditional businesses in the township. For example, tech shops. You still have a lot of tech shop in the township that doesn't even have an electronic payment system. And we if you do a research, electronic payment system, it's about 60-40 a contribution in your business. So if you don't have a electronic payment, you are losing a whole lot of clients that are even spending more, because when you pay with a card, you've got in most instances you are not really even counting money. When you don't see money with your own eyes, you end up even overspending, which a lot of businesses, we need clients that can spend a lot when they come for transaction in our businesses. If you go on internet and you Google franchises, you'll find a whole lot of businesses listed. But in the township, it's rare where you find even a tech shop listed. Now, a lot of franchises, they've got their own mobile apps. And everybody's now using phone. With your phone, you can just do most of everything,
I hear you. There's so much to learn. We're going to jump back into the conversation. I just want to introduce all our guests on the screen right now. I've got on the bottom, on my far right, there's two. There's Martin at the top and there's Musedi below. These two guys are jumping in here to pitch their businesses, and ours is to kind of ask them a few questions and kind of contribute to how they can improve on their pitches. And the reason I've invited all of you is because, so I'm going to introduce each guest accordingly. So Musedi runs a private tutoring business. And in his private tutoring business, hang on, I just want to read exactly as my team sent it to me, otherwise they're going to lash me. It's called Axiom Private Tutoring, and they offer tutoring lessons in a wide variety of subjects, including English, Afrikaans, accounting, chemistry, math, and mathematics literacy. And right there, guys, we can see that with this type of business, it's primed for success. This is the time, right? Because our kids have got to learn, and we are struggling. A lot of us. Okay, let me speak for myself. I'm struggling with homeschooling. Yay! Yo, I've got a 13-year-old as well as a 5-year-old, and it's a big challenge. So people like Musedi are very important to our ecosystem, and I'm more than willing to pay for a service like that. The question is, are we in a space where we are digitizing these solutions? I mean, my Uko jumps on for class at 10 o'clock, Zoom classes at 10 o'clock every day. And I always feel like, flip, they go to school for a whole day. Now they're only having to jump onto Zoom for 40 minutes. And I can see that there's cracks in between here. So a business like Musedi's one is a critical one. The question that I would always have for a business like this is that, does he understand his business model? Does he understand the problem he's solving? Does he understand how? And if he doesn't, this is the time for us to assist him with solutions, And also, what is he asking for? Why is he pitching? Why is he getting onto this platform? So that's what we are trying to solve for around this, né? And then we've got our 20-year-old young
Okay.
man on top who runs a mobile car wash. He started it in February. The audacity of starting a business during the times of COVID-19. Man, you're brave. So his business is called We're a Mobile Car Wash Service. It's about convenience. We wash cars at homes, work estates, shopping centers, parking lots, events, government institutions, schools, business parks, car dealerships, and anywhere you might need us. So a business like this one is obviously going to be a critical need in the near future, and especially as soon as the lockdown keeps dropping, But what I do know, as a matter of fact, is that unless this young man gets to understand a couple of principles around business, it's doomed for failure from get-go. And I say this because we've seen pitches over and over. So I decided to bring Robert on. As soon as I realized what business Martin is running, I called Robert. I called him literally 2 minutes before our session. I said, there's somebody who's starting what you are doing. They might benefit from your advice. And why did I do that? It's because we believe in collaboration within the THAD network. I've known Robert for about 10 years. I met him at the Branson Center of Entrepreneurship, and we've been friends ever since. And he's started multiple businesses. He comes out of Alex, and he's progressed in life. And it's such an important thing to make sure that the collective gets to eat. If Martin fails, it actually impacts Robert's business. And most of us don't understand that. We don't see that for the next person to succeed, the next person needs to succeed around me for me to succeed as well. It can't be just Robert succeeding on his own. So what Robert has achieved, he's been able to raise about 7 million rands for his startup. That's a lot. It means he's figured out the game, and he's been pitching for years. I've seen Robert move from pillar to pillar. Like, we've got the same mentor. Her name is Heidi. Understanding the critical aspects of pitching, understanding what it takes, understanding the pain that you're going to have to go through for this to actually succeed is everything. So Robert is going to be advising from that perspective because he's in the game. That's why I brought him on. If he's been able to raise that much money, he knows something about this game. As for Bathabile, she's a no-brainer. Bathabile has raised, over 21 million rands. I was reading up on you last night, my friend. I was just like, yeah, I've got successful friends around me. I love this, And then we've got Yasmin Kazadi. Yasmin is my boss. No other way to put it. so Yas is the managing director of THAD Entrepreneurship Development non-profit company. So what that tells you guys is that we have divided the hookup dinner into two companies. On the one side, we've got THAD as a non-profit company that focuses on the development aspect. Somebody's background is making it. I'll kind of put all of you on the screen. My guess is that it's Martin. It is Martin. My two brothers are not behaving. I saw that. Yasmin's role in this case is that she manages the NPC, and there's a campaign we're about to launch that is meant to empower small businesses and companies. We're trying to solve for X. We're trying to solve for 3 core problems that we have on our side. And those problems are access to data for small businesses. The cost of data is prohibitive right now, and those that are employing are having quite a bit of a struggle. So if you don't have data access, it means you can't do business. Then you must retrench your employees. So that is one. Number 2, we've said groceries. If we can assist entrepreneurs with access to food is the basis of everything. If you're not eating, you're not even thinking about business. So we are trying to help entrepreneurs and their employee to have some food on the table by crowdfunding for it. So these are some of the things that we're going to touch on. And then thirdly, it's masks. You guys can see I'm wearing a mask. Our president was wearing it here. I'll be wearing it here. But when I'm on the road, I wear it here. And these masks are made by Rip and Soul, and they represent the African spirit, as you can see, because of the colors and stuff. I think It's a great thing to make them fashionable. And I know that Bathabile is already operating within the mass space as well. She's providing quite a bit. She's working with businesses in that space. So I've got a nice list of people here that can assist with a lot. Yes, we're going to let you jump in and plug our NPC, and then we can free you up after that.
Oh, okay. Yes. Seeing that I'm the boss and all. Um, so the Third Entrepreneurship Development Nonprofit Company, he aims to think about entrepreneurs on the ground. So a lot of relief campaigns and opportunities have gone out there, and those campaigns have entry barriers. And those entry barriers are not necessarily barriers that all entrepreneurs can meet. So if you look at the one from the Department of Small Business, you need finance to support your art, and not everybody has the facilities to pay for an accountant or um, accredit their finances. So the team and myself are going to be launching very soon a campaign that's close to our hearts. It's called Hard Cares Because We Care. We want to make sure that the SMEs that feel sidelined are able to also get some relief. So we don't want SMEs to go hungry. We don't want SMEs to not be connected. It's very important to um, keep yourself energized and also keep connected, because without those, you really can't be thinking about your business or how to progress your business. So the campaign will launch on the 5th of May, Tuesday the 5th of May. We're taking it old school style to, we're doing it how we know best, guerrilla marketing. And we're just going to ask everybody within our network to collaborate with us in donating food parcels, data packages. We've been able to negotiate interesting packages and prices for these relief support for the SMEs. So we're approaching grassroots level SMEs and saying we're also here to help you apply. Let's get you guys at least connected and fed.
Yeah.
Thanks, yes. That was great. You can jump off if you want to. If you want to stay with us, we want your contribution, go.
Okay, I'm quite interested in the tutoring business. I here in Boston also run a tutoring company as a means to an end, so I'm quite interested in that. So I'm gonna stay on.
Perfect. It was my way of coercing you to stay.
It worked.
All right, let's give these guys an opportunity to pitch quickly. So, guys, pitch one will be Martin, and then pitch two will be Musedi. Pitch one, you've got 60 seconds to do this thing right. I'm not going to give you a long period of time, né? Because we are struck for time here. What I want you to focus on are the things that Ufundo gave you. Né? Make sure that in your pitch, what you're covering, and then we'll give you feedback based on the pitch that you do. I just want to quickly remind you what those 5 things are. 1, what is your problem statement? Number 2, what is your solution to the problem that you've identified? Number 3, what is the business model that you have for this? As in, how are you making money from this? And then number 4, what's your competitive advantage? Number 5, what are you asking for? So keep it short, sweet, and simple, né? And then we'll give you feedback on your pitch. And hang on. Let me play that. Just now you're gonna say funny things on the internet over there.
I got you with the timer.
There you go. Yes. It's gonna be 60 seconds, starting now. Oh snap! Sorry. Go again. Sorry.
Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, we can now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Martin Ziani. I'm from East Rand in Dom Park, but I currently live in Kempton Park. I recently started a business at a very bad timing, like he said. Well, I started this because I believe that your passion will make room for you. I grew up not liking my dad's car dirty, so I would always wash it for him and earn some extra cash for me to buy some things at school, and that actually made me happy. So I have noticed how car washes have long queues and people actually value time a lot. So I have bridged that gap between uh, people having to spend so much time at the car wash. Yeah. So basically, we service with snap. Snap.
That's
You
one
never stop, young man.
minute. Never stop. Never stop. Never ever stop.
Anyway, quickly, Robert. I think you are more positioned to ask him questions and give him feedback. I think Robert's got some lag, but he's getting this.
Yeah.
Robert,
I think first question I'd have is, okay, what I didn't get is, can you hear me?
yeah.
Okay, cool. So my question would be, I think the first one is, how how are people reaching you? Like, are you at a stage where you are already servicing clients, or is it just an idea? So I didn't get the gist of that. So yeah, if you can quickly answer that, and then I'll have like follow-up questions and things that I'd like to.
It's still an idea, but then I've bought the equipment, so I was at the starting stage of it, and then the lockdown happened.
Okay.
Robert, I hope you heard that. He said it was
Um,
an idea.
yeah, it's so you haven't serviced one client as yet.
No, I haven't.
So basically, okay, cool. So um, I don't know how you plan on doing it, but I'm gonna give you like an example with me. When I initially was testing the market, I was using WhatsApp as a booking platform. So I started using WhatsApp as a booking platform to see if there's actually people that do that. Created a splash screen with all our details and everything, and then I shared the splash screen around a couple of friends. So and then that's when we knew if we have like a product that people want. And with you, yeah, and it's gonna be very tricky. And one, industry that we're in is labor intensive, right? And number two, it's quite pricey to start because you can't do anything without a vehicle. So it's literally one of the most important equipment that you need to move from one to the other. So, and I don't know how you go about that, and because I didn't even get your ask, so you didn't even tell us what you were asking for. So, yeah.
All right. I think now. I keep muting Martin because his kid brother ain't playing around. But I think we got the gist of his pitch, Robert, is that he's pitching to get into the space that you're operating in, but it's literally at the baby stages, you know. I have a challenge for you, Robert. I think this young man, because he's in the East Rand like you, can potentially benefit from being your understudy. That's if you're open to that. I mean, he could even come and work for you for a while, volunteer to work in your business, just so that he learns the ropes. Who knows? He might not even have to. I'd rather work in an environment where he can learn quite a bit before he goes out on his own. Are you open to that?
Yeah, of course. I'm always open to that.
Martin, are you open to that?
And I think it would
Yes,
be a
yes.
pretty good opportunity for you.
All right. Perfect, guys. I'm going to end it there for now, man. When it comes to you.
Yeah, because also, Martin, just
Sorry?
Okay. See ya. Go ahead.
Wait, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I also didn't.
Yeah, I was saying, I'm cool. Lebu will give you my contact details if when we're done here, and then we can chat.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Okay. Martin, you can jump off now. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks.
Musedi, you up next. Same game, my brother. Exactly 60 seconds starting now. Shoot.
Hi guys, my name is Musedi. I'm the founder and director of Axiom Private Tutoring Company. Axiom was born in 2010. The reason Axiom was born in 2010, I've been tutoring before when I was in high school. One person asked me a question. They asked me, what drives me? Why is it that I'm doing very good? Why is it that I'm doing very well? So I decided to come and answer that question, by just studying this business, because we have kids that are battling to even get to varsity. They are battling to even pass their grades. They are battling, if they are lucky to get to varsity, they are battling to actually go and work because of incompetency. So an incompetency can actually can actually result in unemployment, and we have got parents who are battling because of the kids. If your kids are doing bad as a parent, you will have stressful time, and that stressful time can affect your work. So what we decided to do, we have got smaller groups, and the smaller groups that we have that we
I'll set up being fair.
can I finish? Can I finish? It's just a small.
Okay, shoot.
All right. So we have got a smaller groups that we actually attempting to be able to make sure that we can solve that problem. And the reason we have smaller group is because we want to have a one-on-one touch that will not break the parents' banks. I've seen tutoring companies when you have a one-on-one that is quite expensive for the parents, because you cannot mentor kids when they are in a bigger class. So because we want to have that one-on-one touch, we make sure that we have the best tutors that we hire from best universities like Vets University, UJ, UP. We have got professional as well that mentor these kids. Some of these kids, they want to be engineers. So if they want to be engineer and they are mentored by somebody who is an engineer, it's quite encouraging. If they want to be an accountant and they are mentored by somebody who is an accountant, it's quite encouraging. So how we do it differently is because we monitor your child's progress reports. So your children, because we have got a smaller group, we are able to give you reports on a monthly basis where you can see what is happening on, even in weekly, you are able to see what is actually happening with your child. What is it that is lacking with your child? At school, you see after the report, after first term, that your child is failing. Meanwhile, you never knew before. You never knew that your child doesn't do homework. So what we do, we make sure that your child are monitored, your child are mentored. But what we do, differently is we unlock the potential that is in your kids. Normally kids they tend to be discouraged if they do bad, on a subject, and then from there they decide that they are not good at this. And once they decide that they are not good at this, they decide to actually not give enough effort to it. And when they are not giving enough effort to it, they eventually or gradually lose courage to actually study on a daily basis.
can't hear you, Lips.
I apologize for that. I also muted myself. so Mupedi, what
figured.
yeah, so the feedback we're gonna give you, né? I think each of us here, because we've all pitched, we can give you one-liners. On my side, tell the story. So make it visual for us, but keep it very short. Your story should not be more than 20 seconds, so that you can cover the other elements. You've only got 60 seconds. The idea of pitching is like in the olden days when you were selling, when you were a door-to-door salesperson. You got to the door, you knocked, and to get your foot through the door, you had to entice this person. This person had to keep the door open for them to want to know more. You know, you are telling us an entire Wikipedia of information, and you drowned us out with your pitch because we don't even know where's the start or the end. You know, so you have to come back and refine it, and it's those 5 points that we gave in the beginning. So quickly identify your problem statement, give us your solution. What is the solution to this? What is your business model? What's your competitive advantage? And what are you asking for? Like, if you can keep it that short and sweet, then you have we have time to digest this thing and ask you questions. What do you have input on from your side, Bathabile?
Yeah, I think he used a lot of time on the intro. Now we are not even sure how his business model works. So
Yeah.
even if we wanna give him a feedback to maybe better his business, it's gonna be difficult because we don't know who's like how does it work? Is it after school, during weekends? How are the kids getting hold of him? Things like that. So we missed a lot of information because he was focused on the whole intro.
Yeah.
But I think we've got an idea of his business.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, with the COVID-19 and the schools are not open, I think a lot of the parents, because we are also trying to juggle our own businesses, putting technology system in place, we are not really much focused on the kids. So I think maybe he could just try to focus on having e-learnings, not just the 40-minute Zooms that are happening currently. A lot of parents, we are worried to say our kids are really losing focus, and every child, like 40 minutes is not enough to do 3 or 4 subjects.
Yes.
You know, we need a proper schooling, even if it can be through e-learning, even if it's Zoom. Remember Zoom, once you pay for it, you can have a longer time. So I think we are still, he has a good base. So he must just go and refine his model to accommodate the current situation so that he can make real money, because definitely a lot of parents, we are struggling with our own work and businesses at home and the kids, you know.
Okay. Thanks for that feedback, Bathabile. Robert, what did you think? Oh, sorry, man. You're on mute. Yes, Robert?
Look, I think, yeah, sure. I think the most important thing is, more especially when you pitch, tell us what is it that you do and how you're doing it. So I think I'm more concerned about that, what you do, how you're doing it. And the other stuff, I mean, you can tell us more once we ask you questions. Because it, yeah, how you do the online platforms, and I have to agree with Bathabile that you need to obviously find other ways of maximizing your service offering.
Okay. Yeah. What did you pick up?
So I picked up a few things. You need to in your pitch, you need to remember that, you know, you're pitching to parents. So you need to remember to mention things like, I'm here to support you and your children during this time. Parents choose services based on statistics. So they'll pick a school because there's 100% matric pass rate. You've got to talk about, we have 100% improvement rate. So you've got to use a kind of terminology. Plug into platforms that are already there. Bathabile, and Robert mentioned Zoom. There's Google Forms that you can use to track assessments. There's a lot of digital platforms, free or not necessarily too expensive, that you can plug into. I hear you mentioning group sessions, but I think, COVID, I think operator businesses, though, COVID will always be there. The convenience and of you having an online tutoring company means that it'll cost less. Your tutors are not traveling to go there. It's direct connection with the students. And one-on-one is a lot better than group sessions, because then the student is able to build a rapport with the tutor and feel comfortable to ask questions they might not have felt in a group session. So rather punt the one-on-one, because then it feels like my child is getting attention. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I totally agree. So Musedi, will give you another opportunity next week. I'm hoping that you will have refined your pitch by then. Just remember
Also,
that
the website had a look.
Yeah. And I think the most important thing here, remember what you are asking for when you are pitching. So I think for this week, we're going to continue having practice sessions around people that are wanting to pitch. It is a hard thing to refine your pitch and make it short and sweet, but we're going to pump this more and more. One thing that I can contribute to from that perspective to you is that search for a platform called Google Classroom. You might probably be using it already. I don't know. But I know that for my daughter's school, she's 5 years old, they have sessions on Zoom, which are 40 minutes, and then the interaction happens inside Google Classroom. And I'm sharing the link in the chat box on the side here, just so that you can check it out in case you haven't. You probably have, because you're a tutor after all, you can look at that link and decide what you do with it. But we're going to let you go here now. Thank you so much for jumping in. You'll definitely have another opportunity next week.
Thank you so much, Lebsa. I guess time was the issue here at the moment. I definitely didn't even get a chance to actually explain properly on what we are doing. We have been doing a lot of work, from beginning. Just being put on the spot, it just got distracted me. So we have got a lot of work that we've been doing since 2010, until the moment. We even have an app. we even have an app.
Okay. So because we're going to give you a chance next week, go and refine your story so that it makes sense for us in 60 seconds. That you didn't get a chance of this and that you asked us to pitch. We gave you a platform to pitch. You gave us a story. We're telling you that your pitch is not working for us because we've been in this space for the longest of time. Go and fix that and then come back next week. I think that's a fair game, right? All right. Thanks, my guy. I want to jump back to Bathabile.
Thanks a lot.
Sweet man. There's quite a few questions to ask Bathabile. They're critical for us here. Yeah. So back into that conversation. One of the things that Yaz asked was I want to take it back here. How do we have a franchise model that incorporates a digital aspect? I think you already answered that. And then she asked, how do we fast track the digital migration for the township economy? I think this is a very important question.
No, this is a very important one, and to be honest, for me, I feel that with COVID-19, it was kind of a blessing in disguise that we literally now use technology in our businesses, regardless of the size. Remember, a business is not just a business because you've been existing for 10 years or you've got 10 employees. Once you open that door to say you are going to offer a service in exchange of money, you are in business. So you could be home, you could be in a township. So I think the easier ones that we need to be using a lot. Facebook, if you are running any kind of business, remember Facebook, guys, is not where people buy, it's awareness. Somebody will be seeing your business, they'll be sharing what you do. The people in my network, they might be your neighbors, So now, if you're not sharing your business on Facebook, but we are sharing all sorts of memes, you need to go and redefine why you join Facebook. You can still use your own personal profile because that's where people know you, but eventually you also need to start building on your business profile page. Then you can share on your personal profile. WhatsApp, guys, I get a whole lot of business through WhatsApp. I use my status to advertise anything and everything that I sell. And remember, you meet people, you take their numbers. You're not really friends, but WhatsApp status, it allows people to see what you do. So I get recommendations through other people's friends who will say, I saw Bathabile status, speak to her. Then the friend will be calling me. Not necessarily that friend of mine in my phone book, but that friend will have seen this, and then they will share my contacts with their friends. So social media, guys, it's working, it's free, everybody is using it. Before we even talk about Google Maps, Google Business, just the basic ones that we use every day. You're saying, Lebo?
Think about it right now here. We're using a platform, and we paid a minimal amount for this platform, and it's a studio. You would have had to be a rich person to do this in the past.
But now we can do.
It's an actual studio, guys. I've got a ring light here. I look nice. Got my laptop. Hey, man. Hey.
I can see even there's an advert at the bottom here. Somebody must pay you for this advert.
For this platform that we're using right now, we're paying $20 a month, and that's a monthly fee, and you can use as much as possible within the month. And if you think about that, massive opportunity. So I absolutely agree with what you're saying, that we're not utilizing the platforms that we have in the right way enough. Robert, your business, I know that you started it out in Alex, man. Even your first business when you were still doing cleaning and stuff, and you guys were having challenges. Knowing what you know now, what would you do differently with your business if you were to start it again now? And I'm talking about Young Minds Cleaning. Woo, I always mute this guy. Oh, he muted himself. It's not me. You muted yourself.
Yeah, I had to mute myself. I have a baby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she was feeding and stuff. Anyway, I think for me, it would be understanding the market that I'm in. I don't think we spent enough time understanding that part of our business. And then another thing would be understanding the customers that we're selling the product to, and what is it that we're exactly selling, because that's been one of our biggest issues and stuff. Not understanding what it is that you're selling it to. So I think that's the key factor, because with the mobile car wash, when we initially started, I wanted to start a business in the township. So we initially started by using bicycles, right, and going to people's houses. But then it wasn't picking up and nothing was happening. So when I went back and I'm like trying to understand what is it that we're doing wrong, I figured that in the township you actually cannot start a mobile car wash and win. Why is that? Because township has so many car washes, and people actually use a car wash as a basically, for someone to go to a car wash is so refreshing for them, instead of them wanting someone to come and wash their cars in their home. So in the township, you can never win. It's going to be for select few. Right? You have a lot of car washes, and then I had to change the way my mod structured and who my target customers were. And I mean, Alex. Alex is literally in the center of all the stuff in all the elite suburbs in the township in Gauteng. You have your Sentin and your Midrand and your Fourways, and then I started targeting those people. But accessing those people was another challenge, so I needed to find strategic ways of going on about accessing those people.
Okay, I got you.
I have a quick question, Robert.
Yes.
Have you ever tried to infiltrate yourself to estates? If you look at the estate group Baldwin, they've created a lifestyle around their consumers, and you could become a part of that value chain by incorporating yourself in that. So a family member of mine stays at one of the Baldwin estates, and they've got a specific parking area demarcated for car wash. They've got an area where there's a concierge, they've got laundry, they've got So if you integrate yourself in the lifestyle element that these estates are building, you then are eliminating the issue of trying to get customers.
Yeah, of course. We have partnered with quite a few estates and office parks as well. So we have partnered with quite a few. I mean, we're still trying to grow the footprint and access more office parks. And our initial plan and goal is to actually partner with um, a lot of estate and office parks as well. So, but we do have estates that we work with.
And then,
Bathabile,
yeah, just one thing for Robert, because I see that you are looking to grow. Currently, you are in Gauteng, right? You're only operating in Gauteng, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
So now, let's say this, you'll say
Yes,
this
yes.
because I see you've been doing great. You are one of the few Black people in this industry and growing. Are you thinking of maybe expanding and let's say also trading in the Free State using a franchise model, which could also earn you an extra income? Because if you find an entrepreneur in the Free State, you coach them so that they don't have to start from scratch. Because a whole lot of Black entrepreneurs, we waste so much money trying to start from scratch on a model that is existing. But in the same time, we're not going to compete with you or steal your business. For instance, with the franchise business, you can now get franchisees around the different provinces. Now you can even have an app where all of you are contributing towards the app. You are doing a joint marketing, which will be fees that are now less for you. In return, they will pay you for your royalty fees because you will be giving them a support every month. You are training them. It's a win-win situation. So how about we try to look into a
Um,
franchise model for your business, expanding to other areas, not only Gauteng.
it's actually quite. Yeah, well, look, like it's so funny because what's I don't know. So on social media, if you can go onto my Twitter account, you can see we've already started rolling out licenses. People have been inquiring licenses for the franchise, and also Movie Wash SA does have an app. So we do have an app that we use to obviously offer our service, all of our services and stuff. So, but I'm always keen on getting extended feedback, information from different people. We are rolling out on a larger scale now as we speak because of COVID-19, and I think it was just mainly us trying to offer people access to business opportunities more than anything because um, of people having uncertainty as to they'll have their jobs after the lockdown. Also, we just wanted to offer our platform to like a large number of people in the country.
Okay.
I,
Now
I
I'll
like
check your accounts.
yeah. My
Yeah,
Okay.
but I want to have a chat with you anyway.
All right. We'll
yeah.
check offline.
I'm gonna share you guys contact details. My recommendation,
All
Robert,
right.
knowing what I know about the both of you, something can definitely cook here. And the reason being, Bathabile is a systems driven person. You're a pure entrepreneur. You're not systems driven. I know you. And yes, you're still like me. That's why we all need a Bathabile in our lives. I know you. It's trying to sound
It's a
cool.
gender thing, hey?
Oh,
I know him.
And that's why I was like, okay, let me keep quiet. I'll talk to him offline. Guys, I will really want to see a fully fledged. I've had a whole lot of franchises, small businesses. I don't want to lie, guys. There is no Black-owned franchise model because just getting people to use your system, you are not even half. As long as you are not even registered with the franchise body, because when you register with them, they will tick all the boxes that you need to comply with. So as long as nobody's paying you a royalty, because you should be giving them a certain service for that, you are still not a franchise. So I want us in the near future to launch the first Black owned franchise, guys. We really need to. It's about time, because remember, it's not about your business, it's a whole value chain. Imagine currently in your business, you are still buying from the white companies. You are buying all your cleaning materials from the white owned companies. But when you've got a franchise model, that's when you can even plug in Black manufactured products. So we need something like that. If you look into famous brand, guys, there's nothing wrong. It's their business. They can do whatever they please. Everything from packaging, it's a white-owned company. Cleaning material, white-owned company. Trucks, mostly white-owned companies. They open their own value chain, but we're gonna complain and say no, they are only closing the system for the Black people. They created those systems for themselves. But we are not taking advantage of our own businesses where we can open more into other businesses, like marketing. If you can franchise a business, we can have a company Black owned doing all your marketing drive. That's how we will see growth in our businesses. So we need one business that can really showcase Black excellence, guys, in the franchising space.
Actually, Yasmin, I'm gonna put you on the spot here. I think Bathabile is onto something here for us as that.
You know, my friend, from 3 years ago, Lebo, I've been knocking.
Like it's like what Robert is doing. Né? It's very smooth. Now we got this covered. Guys, myself included, right? But we're in about 14 countries. We've even expanded into the UK, but we haven't built a franchise model, and that's something that is missing. We know how to spread because we drive this out of passion, and we're gonna continue growing. But if we built it like a franchise model, so that whoever takes on the license to be a chapter director in their city can actually monetize on this opportunity. Because right now we do it as the Lord's work. Our income generating business is not that. We make money elsewhere, and then we contribute to the ecosystem with that. But who says we can't do both in one?
Yes.
If we understood what the product is and how to package it for the person that is buying it, then you've got something that you can roll out all over the world. Because we've proven that this concept is needed across.
It's working.
And it works, and it's needed across the world. This is why it was launched in the UK, and it still exists in the UK. It is because it works. But the question is, do we have systems and defining a value chain? And what does this value chain look like? How do we leverage off professional skills from Black professionals all over who have the skills, but we haven't built this. So I'm gonna put you ladies together, and I'm saying you ladies because Yasmin is system driven in our business. She's she's a boot camp.
I can tell.
You know what I mean? And then we all need this in our business entrepreneurs, because we drive off passion, and we try and thrive off the fly. So we jump off a cliff and then we build on our way down. And there's just somewhere where you've got to stop and be like, okay, it's time to corporatize this thing. Yeah.
Great. No, I've made notes, Lebu, so you cannot not remember what we discussed today.
This is the beauty of these conversations. People will think we're trying to start the next TV show. My gift is to be a connector, and I do that really well. And whenever I find the dots connecting, I just get super excited, and it's easy for me to see the dots connect. Like it happens effortlessly. So a platform like this, we'll continually use it for that. And in terms of information dissemination and how we must make sure that people who can't actually afford data and can get access to these things, what my team is working on in the background is doing cutaways of these shows. So 60 seconds to 2 minutes maximum videos compressed. We share them on WhatsApp. When you drop us a WhatsApp on the number below, it automatically sends you an automatic message, whatever. And then based on your needs, you will press in 1 or 2 or whatever, and then it's going to download this information. It will send you a video. So we are trying to take e-learning to the masses. Like entrepreneurs need these, and just in general, young people who are trying to start out in business, they don't have these money conversations around the table. their parents are too stressed out with work and everything else. We are trying to find ways. And our obsession is if we can get, video, on-demand video is mostly driven through WhatsApp in Africa. It's the number one platform distributing video. And people are able to track this or even see how they monetize this because they don't understand the beast that they play with. Like social media is such a powerful platform. And I think, guys, find ways of utilizing these platforms to drive collaboration. We constantly preach this. Octavius, all the way back when we were still in 2014, would say collaboration is the new innovation. We constantly talk about innovation as this far-fetched concept where you must go and build something amazing out there. People is what you need to drive innovation. And right here, we've got Bathabile who builds up the systems in franchising. We've got a Robert who's got an app that actually works. He's gotten funded for it, so he's proven traction in the marketplace. And now he's franchising. Can he get an expert in who's actually proven systems, who owns franchises herself, who can actually help in driving this agenda forward? That is what we're about in this ecosystem. It's about making sure that we connect and we actually do something about it. And then just in closing, I know that we went over time today. We want to remind people on three key things. We're launching Third Care's campaign, and we're launching this on the 2nd of May. And it's meant to address three components. One, sorry, yes? Say that again. Actually, yes. Go ahead. Making noise.
You were doing a good job. No, so we're launching the Third Care's campaign on the 5th of May. It's really aimed at helping entrepreneurs at grassroots. We're not trying to, target entrepreneurs that already have access. These are people who don't have access to the bare things. So grocery, data, airtime. We want to keep you connected, keep you motivated to make sure that you can also participate in this current crisis. There's opportunities everywhere. We want entrepreneurs to participate. So let's crowdsource together. Through humanity, let's all be able to help the next entrepreneur get up. And that's what the campaign aims to be.
Yeah. And if you want to know more, just drop me a WhatsApp on the number below. It's 060-508-5188. It's a nationwide campaign, and we will be bringing on other partners to participate in this. Robert, really, man, thank you for this. And I'm going to have you on in the near future again, just speaking around fundraising for your startup. I think because you've been through the miles and you've been burnt in them, and I want us to give people the 1 to step 5 guide of how to raise money, what do you need to do it, from language to dressing to building relationships, what actually happens in the background. And it's not just going to be you. Other people who have raised money, it's Tepo from Stockfeller, and I've got a few other Black entrepreneurs who've really raised over $1 million for funding. So I want to have that type of conversation. I think it's an important one. But Bathabile, I want to have a follow-up conversation with you. I think on Tuesday, I'm going to have Tepo as well as Palisa Lingolo. Palisa Lingolo wrote a book on Stockfels, and it's a comprehensive guide on this. And the question that we constantly obsessed with in the background, so we have a lot of conversations on WhatsApp in our groups, and we are trying to figure out, there's such opportunity right now. I mean, guys, you saw that, what's this company, the one that makes coffee? Starbucks in this country was sold by Taste Holdings was it Taste Holdings or the other company? They sold it for $7 million.
Yeah.
If we're far more organized in our stock files as investment, we could have grouped a lot of stock files together and said, guys, we're buying the company out. You know what I mean? So I love that you touched on that, because now it's like the dots are starting to connect for me. That flip. In driving the franchising agenda as Bathabile and what you're trying to do for townships, you're actually trying to tell Stockfel to get together, to get their act together, and then drive forward so that they can own the mainstream economy. And you are doing it. So if we can accept who drives a transparent platform for where Stockfels can put in their money and all their members can monitor their money, what's going on in there, and have you who can provide systems and just a conversation around this, and then have insights from somebody like Palisa, who actually has the insights, because she teaches Stockfels, she teaches financial literacy education, and she does it all over. I think we're going to have a kick-ass of a conversation, but it won't end as a... I want to launch...
It must be... No, definitely. We
need to launch the next campaign. We launched the People's Stockfel. We've already done close to 1.8 million on this, and we fund campaigns on the People's Fund with this. So we do something. We take action with the things that we're doing. And I think we're pregnant right now. I think the next one is bubbling under, and there's something major that's going to come out of this. But we must have the conversations in order to build some traction.
I like the idea of the stock fair because you've seen the launch of Pick n Pay and ShopRite coming to the townships.
Yes.
So we've been saying Pakistani have been taking our township. So let's use the ShopRite and Pick n Pay to also now revive Black people in the township tech shops. You know, Umama Dlamini, who owns a tech shop in a garage, she deserves a container now. And she can be funded, because the nice thing about franchise model, you are easily funded, guys. We must stop using our parents' pension fund and money that must be meant for our families to start businesses. Let's put the banks at risk because they've got system and personnel to actually mentor us.
Yeah.
So we need skills, we need partnership. When we're saying partnership, it cannot be stock fails all the time and the hookup dinner. The banks are sitting with economists, just you understand? So they need to be in the township if we really, really want to develop the township economy. We need those expertise to come to the townships.
Yeah.
Very true.
We're in, bro. We're in. Guys, thank you very much. Catch you tomorrow.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. Bye.